The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner,
and our from entertainer,
Wayne Baker.
Now today we have a first, and I'm very excited about this first because
This is
it's our first episode outside the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes, it is.
Which I am very, very excited about. And we're in Mount Holly, New Jersey. We're at Spellbound Brewing, and we have with us
John Kompanic? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
you
hello.
think? Are you sure?
I know my own
Are you
name.
sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Oh no, I was actually looking at your sheet and you spelled my name wrong. So.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I was saying it that way. Kompanic.
How do you spell it?
Kompanic with a C-O-M.
Oh, it's a C-O, not a C-A.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, we shoot for that. But
We're professionals, I swear.
I understand why you've been in PA the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to New Jersey.
The gauntlets are thrown.
We actually pay attention to things.
Yeah.
We need
This
an
is true.
intern.
I used to work right down the road in Cherry Hill, and there was a very different attention to detail. I can say that.
Excellent.
But I'm very happy to be here. We were here back in March-ish.
It was cold.
It was cold.
earlier than
I remember
that, I
that.
think,
It wasn't that cold.
It was cold.
I went out with just a sweatshirt and I was fine. Anyway, we were here before, and it was winterish. And I remember we were here, and it was a very fun environment, which we have already experienced again tonight. And I remember the beer was really good, so I'm very excited to go down the line for our rundown a little later on. In fact, we're starting with a beer as our sipping beer.
Yes, we couldn't wait.
Yeah, and I'm glad we started with one because I forgot just how good these beers were. So what do we have that we're starting with?
We are starting with our pale ale.
right.
Pretty traditional, similar to like Sierra Nevada. Their pale ale. It's American pale ale, so we use American malt, American hops. Basically, we dry hop it with Cascade, 5.5%, easy drinking.
Yes, it is.
And this is the beer that you can. Is
No,
this
the
one that-
IPA
yeah,
is in a can.
Okay, I'm sorry.
IPA is in a can.
Yeah, gotcha.
You PA people.
I
I'll
know.
tell ya.
Wow. But I do really enjoy this beer. It's very, like you said, it's easygoing, easy drinking. It's very refreshing.
It is. It is.
Maybe it was just that I had a long day and really wanted a beer,
and a
but
long
this
drive. And
not necessarily a long drive. I'm
Well,
right across
for
the well
us.
for you guys, yeah. But this hit just the right spot, and it's phenomenal.
It was actually one of the beers that we kind of had to put in our lineup. A lot of people were coming in asking for something a little bit lighter, and actually it was good for us because we need something. It's our yeast cow. I don't know if you've heard that term before.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it's where we are able to get additional yeast so we can use it for other beers. So if a beer is over, say, 6.5% and a beer's overly hoppy, dry hopped, it's going to carry on into the next beer. So basically we wanted to have a yeast that we can reuse over and over. Pale ale, perfect base.
Awesome.
delicious beer.
Very
Good way
much
to
so.
get us started.
Yeah, I agree.
absolutely.
I agree. Well, we do have a lot coming, so let's get into this. All right, so I will try to keep it short. Every time I say that, I fail miserably.
You should
but
stop saying
yeah, one of these days I will. So the first story I have is actually pretty cool, and we've kind of geeked out about this before. And I know Wayne's pretty much favorite beer comes from this company,
Okay.
Goose Island.
Ah.
They have announced the Bourbon County lineup for 2015. So there's actually a few of them that are going to be. So they have a few different versions. They have the rare Bourbon County brand stout, which they have little blurbs they put on their Instagram. It was kind of cool. There was no official press release. It was just on their Instagram. They had different pictures of people holding mock-ups of the bottles. Or I guess they were real bottles, but they even have like the disclaimer that this is not the actual bottle. It's going to be there, blah, 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 blah. But the rare Bourbon County brand stout, their blurb was, back in 1979, the folks at Heaven Hill Distilleries found a handful of new, freshly charred American white oak barrels with some of their finest whiskey. And it's rare for bourbon to age in barrels more than 23 years, but these barrels patiently sat for over 30 years. Wow. The extra years then developed a distinct and complex
Jazz
character,
hands.
yeah, right, that makes them truly one of a kind. So they filled those barrels with Bourbon County brand stout and stored them away in the Chicago Barrel House to age for another 2 years. This is going to be available in 16.9-ounce bottles in limited quantity, and I think that's going to be nationwide. Now, there is the proprietor's Bourbon County brand stout, which is their blurb, made as a thank you to our adventurous neighbors in Chicago who were there since the beginning. So to get the recipe for the proprietor's Bourbon County Stout, every brewer is encouraged to take home some Bourbon County Stout and experiment with the ingredients to do their own little interpretations of it. This year, one of the brewers' recipe got selected for this. Now, this one is only going to be available in Chicago in limited quantities.
What are the ingredients? Tell
Yeah,
me.
that's the thing. They don't. The only thing that they have here, they don't have everything, but they have toasted pecans and Gio peppers. So imagine you would like that.
Wow.
But they don't have much else on it there. There's going to be the
So
bourbon.
I'm going to Chicago in November.
You go everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if you end up there.
Well, we were just talking about doing a trip to Boston over Thanksgiving, but
Of course
maybe
you
we'll
were.
be going to Chicago.
Chicago
Why
instead.
wouldn't you go to Boston?
Well, actually, I
Sure.
think there's already a line forming for that.
Probably.
So,
Yeah, more than likely.
Tents are already out. That's more of a teaser, not than an announcement, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, they have what's officially going to be out and the different variations of it. They're also going to have the Bourbon County brand Regal Rye Stout. So their brewer, Tim, got the variant for this year. It's a unique blend of Bourbon County brand stout aged in rye whiskey barrels with blackberries, Luxardo candied cherries, fresh sour cherries, and sea salt.
That sounds good.
So this was developed by the team of Goose Island Brewers, and this year's recipe was especially collaborative. They submitted their recipes, held a roundtable discussion dissecting each, and then in the end they landed on what became the Regal Rye Stout. This one is going to be available on Black Friday in limited quantities. It doesn't say anything specific, so I'm guessing that is also going to be nationwide. They're also going to have the Bourbon County brand Coffee Stout. Their brewer Patrick has the recipe this year. It features words I can't pronounce, but coffee. Intelligentsia
Copi Luwak?
Los
Is it
Delirios
Copi Luwak?
Coffee from Nicaragua. This is going to be available in limited quantities. They have Bourbon County brand barley wine. This is aged in the third use barrels that were once home to Kentucky bourbon, and then they were renowned Bourbon County Stout. This traditional English-style barley wine possesses the subtlety of flavor that only comes from a barrel that's gone through many seasons of ritual care. This is also in limited quantities. And then rounding it out is the Bourbon County brand stout. This is the one that started it all. It's a malty beast to brew. The process goes back to... I'm going to start that sentence over. It's a malty beast to brew. Okay, I didn't just read it wrong. A malty beast to brew, the process to get Black Friday. Weird.
Apparently they were drinking Bourbon County
They must
when
have
they
been.
typed it.
Yeah.
Or they're from Pennsylvania.
Oh, man. No, they're from Illinois. They're from... Yay.
Even worse.
Right.
If
Also,
you can imagine.
yeah. Also available Black Friday 16.9 ounce bottles. Now, the other story I have, I'm a little more excited about. Don't get me wrong, Bourbon County is awesome. But we have a tie to the next story because of Colin.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the statue.
The statue.
Yes.
So this is from the WFMZ website that they have their articles on. So a historic monument, shouldn't that be an historic, technically?
If you're British or pretentious.
I'm
Or
neither.
you understand how to use an article properly.
Yes. There's also that coming from the teacher. So,
Or if you don't come from Pennsylvania.
An historic monument that was vandalized in Reading 3 months ago is getting statewide attention. What
It should
now?
be a historic.
Is it a historic? I thought we were saying an. It is a. They have a in here. I thought it was
Yeah,
an.
no, it's an H.
And then you agreed with no, because
I heard that too.
I've heard people
Yeah.
say an historic before
Yeah,
too.
I think you really just totally flip-flopped, Steph.
I think I totally misunderstood what he said earlier.
I believe the record will show.
Probably.
Okay.
No, it should be a historic.
So there was
The
a
historic.
monument that is labeled historic that was vandalized a few months ago.
Yes.
In Reading. Now, the Brewers of Pennsylvania, they have vowed to restore the statue. It is Frederick Lauer, and it's in Reading City Park to help keep this legacy alive. They kickstarted a campaign this past week, as of the recording, to preserve a piece of the city's history in the statue. Quote from Colin: "It's something that we want to restore, bring back, and shine a light on," says Colin Presby, the head brewer at Golden Avalanche Brewing Company in Kutztown, who is a member of the Brewers of Pennsylvania. Now, a few months ago, he approached the state's official brewing guild to restore the statue, and once it was vandalized in April, his vision turned then into a priority. So it needed restoration before it gets vandalized, and they say, all right, now we definitely need to do this.
And I believe they're gonna try and put a fence around it to try and preserve it and keep people from vandalizing it.
Right,
again.
right, because it's something that's it's big. It's a part of the history, and it's something that should be
And it's
upheld
something that
way.
was originally paid for by the Brewers Association. It wasn't
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that was paid for by the state or the city or the tax money. I mean, it was put there by the Brewers Association.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Instead of just a cleaning and rededication, we're now looking at bidding out and funding new plaques for the statue. Vandals stole 4 bronze plaques that were on there. There were 4, they took them all, so now they need to get more back on there. Now, the statue was erected in 1885, and it was known as the pioneering Reading brewer. Lauer was the prominent leader in the beer industry, and he became the first president of the United States Brewers Association, which I did not know that until this. He was a person who did things very well, worked very hard, and was on the cutting edge of the modern brewing movement 150 years ago, said Presby. It's kind of weird. Like, we know Colin on a personal level, and to hear him quoted in a professional article like this, it's really cool.
Did you watch the news clip? Then you get to see him actually speaking the words.
I
Was he wearing his Team Peggy shirt?
No, I
on the
think he
news
was wearing
broadcast?
his Golden Avalanche shirt.
Okay.
Well,
Those
yeah,
are the
that
only
would
two
make
shirts
sense.
he ever wear.
Yeah. Now, the Brewers of Pennsylvania is reaching out to 150 breweries in the state and asking them to raise their glasses and pitch in to help restore the statue. It's seeking donations and will collect a portion of proceeds from upcoming beer festivals. And then on October 17th at the Santander Performing Arts Center in Reading, the officials are going to donate $10 from every festival ticket sold towards the project to restore it. So I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty fair amount for tickets for festivals. They're still waiting to learn an exact cost of the restoration, but they're committed to completing the project without using public funds. So they want to do everything off of what they raise for it, which I think is kind of cool. Said Presby, his story really resonates with what we're doing today, and it's something we as an industry can identify with. I like that. They set up a donation link on the website. Now that's brewersofpa.org. Not New Jersey.
Sorry.
All right.
People
you're-
don't vandalize statues in Jersey.
No, we don't have to worry about that.
Do you have statues
We
in
don't
New
have
Jersey?
this problem in our state.
Yes, very important ones.
Like
You
what?
cannot make left turns in New Jersey.
Man, those jug handles. Come on now. I forgot about that. I hadn't worked in the state for a year and a half, and I forgot about the no left turn anywhere. Everything's like you have to. My GPS told me to make a left turn at one point. Anywho, as we've already mentioned, we are on location at Spellbound Brewing in Mount Holly, New Jersey. Hooray for branching out from Pennsylvania.
Yay!
And I'm very excited to be back here. Once we had a recording confirmed, I kind of perked up, and I was really looking forward to it because of how much fun we had here last time. The beers are phenomenal, and the one we already have here, the Pale, is just great. It's perfect, especially because it's super hot outside. This is just so crisp and refreshing. And I'm very excited to get the rest of them that we have. Why are you making that face for, Steph?
It's like you're doing a commercial. They should hire you to do a commercial for their beer.
Yeah, you should hire me to do a commercial for your beer.
No kidding. This is working very well.
But no, I'm very excited to be back here, and I'm very excited to spread the word about Spellbound.
What about that pale ale, though?
The Pale Ale, I mean, it lends itself to the history of Spellbound, and it's something that Jersey just needs, and Pennsylvania needs to learn about this too.
It should be Spellbound Pale Ale. We do it for the Yeast.
We do it for the Yeast.
Do it for the yeast. I like it.
We might have an episode title there.
Remember that.
I'm writing it down. Now, Spellbound, how long have you guys been open?
We opened our doors to the public. Soft opening we did October 11th. So not that long, 9 months, give or take. A little over 9.5 months at this point. Basically, we started brewing in September. So we are going to have our 1-year anniversary party in September. We don't officially have a date, but we think it's going to be September 19th.
Okay.
So,
And do you have any
writing that
specialness coming around for the anniversary?
well, for our founders party, we had 18 beers on tap. So you have to
Wow.
imagine there's going to be a lot more excitement happening.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes, we definitely have. If you saw in the brewery, we have some
Lots
bourbon.
of barrels in there.
Yes,
I like barrels.
They're filled with barley wine. Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill bourbon barrels filled with barley wine. And we have our straight up barley wine as well. We're going to do a bottle release, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's kind of a big deal. Have you guys done a bottle release yet?
No, not at all.
Wow.
So we have that going on. We may be debuting our pumpkin ale at that point as well.
September, that's
As
appropriate.
opposed to now in July. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yes,
Exactly.
we will never release a pumpkin ale in July. I can swear to that. Probably never in August. But yeah,
There are companies that could really stand to learn something from that. Southern Tier. Excuse me. Sorry.
I think there's some in Pennsylvania as well, but
Yeah.
we won't name names.
We won't name names.
You have a vendetta against Pennsylvania. Wow.
No, that's because we want you to come here more often.
That's right.
Are you going to pay my toll?
Yes.
I'm in.
That would be the best Jersey brewery ever.
That would.
We will validate
See,
your tolls.
The gas is already cheaper, but then you have that pesky little toll to get back over to Pennsylvania that just does away with everything you saved on the gas
they just
anyway.
want you to stay.
I'd stay here.
Right.
I'd stay here.
We'll set up a cot.
All right.
You'll be good to go.
Maybe I'll just move into Jersey. I'll transfer back to my old store. We'll
Yeah.
be good.
So for our anniversary, though, we do expect to have a lot of fun, wild, different beers. So you can expect that from us.
Awesome.
Yep. And
I
there'll
know
be
you-
something with hot peppers, I'll bet.
Yay!
Steph will be happy. I know you brought over some bottle labels here for your anniversary beers, and I like the fact that you have a separate label for each bourbon barrel. So you have one for the Buffalo Trace, then one for the Heaven Hill, and then another one for just the straight up barley wine. And it's a really cool series of labels. I really like your logo, and it just works really well on there.
If you can't tell, Wayne's a graphic designer.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Thank you.
I pay a lot of more attention to that than I probably should when I go to breweries, because I've been to breweries that have phenomenal beer and terrible logos and terrible websites, and I try not to let that influence me one way or another. But you have really awesome beers and a really awesome logo. So
Thank you so much.
get 2 thumbs up on each side.
All right.
So is the beer going to be called What Were We Thinking?
Yes.
I love that.
That's a great
That
name.
I love.
Yes.
So is that an open-ended question? What were we thinking starting a brewery? What were we thinking putting all this beer in barrels? What were
rhetorical
we
question.
thinking?
Usually when you're about 5 hours into the canning line, we normally are canning on a Sunday, canning an IPA. 3-4 hours in, you start to get a little bit tired, and at 5 to 6 hours, you start getting delirious. And that's when that question keeps popping up in our head.
Yep.
What were we thinking?
So you're on the canning line for that long. I saw on your website that you can can 36 cans a minute.
Maxes out about 36 cans a minute. We average about 32, but basically a case and a half a minute.
It's pretty phenomenal.
You feel
It's huge.
It sounds so fast.
Except when you're standing there.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're standing there,
No.
when you have 40 barrels of IPA sitting in a tank, translates into 13,200 cans.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind.
So
Yeah, I've never canned anything, so I can't really. That's
You've been
Well-
canning your IPA for a while.
yeah,
Is-
October 31st, Halloween was the first time we canned it.
Wow, you started early on. Anything else coming out in cans?
Yes, we are actually going to be doing a test run of peach IPA.
Nice.
300 cases, brewery only. We haven't figured out what date it's going to happen, but it's probably going to be, about 2 weeks from today.
So around now.
around.
So
yeah.
around the
Yes.
time you're
when
listening
when
to
you were
around-
hearing this,
Yeah.
go to Spellbound. I mean, go there anyway.
Yeah, just go there, wait outside, and we may or may not have cases at that point.
Just camp out, bring a tent just in case.
Yeah, so we're doing
Or a
a
cot.
we're going to do a test run of it. We feel confident that it'll sell very well. We've done very well in the tasting room and outside of here with the peach IPA. So we figured, all right, let's can that. But right now we're just doing it. We're going to do it's a can wrap, so we're not doing the full blown, like our IPA can. We're doing can wraps. Minimum order is a lot smaller. It's about 8,000 cans versus the full order that we get, which is basically at this point about 12 pallets or about 110,000 cans.
Wow.
So we're not worried about as much about selling it as we are about being able to make sure that it has a good shelf life to it. And like we don't want to have the peach IPA sitting out there and all of a sudden the peach gets a little bit muted and doesn't taste as good and all that. We want to make sure that if you buy it a month, sitting on a shelf for a month, it's going to taste good, it's going to look good. So it's more a test than anything.
So I know you mentioned that these are going to be for the peach one here only, just at the brewery. So
Yes.
the other ones, the IPA, is that available elsewhere in the area?
Yes, our IPA is in 5 counties right now. It's in Burlington, basically our
There's a lot of-
backyard.
There's
yeah.
a coat factory there.
Yeah. Oh, correct. Yeah, we keep them in the coat pockets there.
All right.
So go looking around. Burlington, Mercer, Ocean, Monmouth, and Camden counties. So that's where we're at right now. With the new tanks that we got in, we're looking to expand. We aren't sure where we're going yet. We're taking a look at all of our options right now, but
Can I recommend Pennsylvania?
that's
I know you probably don't want to hear that recommendation.
that is a strong possibility.
Okay.
Yes.
I did look at Philly Tap Finder, and it said there is one bar in Northeast Philly that has, I think, the IPA. It was Crafty's Tap Room.
We had a a contract with our distributor. We went through Bella Vista. It was for Philly Beer Week. So
Oh, cool.
Yep. So we basically had a contract that ended after a short period of time. Basically, it was about 2 months, and we said that we wanted to test the waters in Philly, PA, and it went over very well. Really happy.
Good.
PA people really know their beer. I mean,
Yeah, we do.
yeah.
You just gave us a
If
compliment.
we don't know much else, at least we know that.
Apparently,
we drink
yeah.
PA, we drink a lot.
We spell names
Yeah.
wrong and
Yeah.
we can't read news, but we drink a lot.
It comes
Yes.
from that strong German heritage,
That-
I think, actually.
Fantastic beer. If we had more time outside of here, we would spend a lot more time in Philly. But everything, I mean, with so many great places there to have a good beer, quality beer. I mean, there's no better area, in our opinion, than going to Philly. So
Oh.
if we're leaning any way, I mean, we kind of let you know where we're going. So
All right.
yeah.
I'd like to walk to my local bar in South Philly and find a Spellbound beer on tap. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome. Now, John, you don't run this operation yourself.
Not at all.
There's actually 2 other guys not at the table, but should we give them a shout out? You want to
Oh,
talk
not
about
a
them
shout
for a
out.
minute?
We are equal partners. It's not even a shout out. Scott will be here momentarily, but it's Mike Oliver and Scott Redding. We are 3 equal partners. We share in responsibilities. Mike has been doing Mike and Scott kind of do a lot of the bigger batches of the brew. So they're doing a lot of the IPA, porter, things like that we're doing. And I've been doing more the pilot batches. So just playing around, seeing,
Oh, so
testing.
you get to do all the fun stuff.
Well, yeah. It just feels weird that it's been just the same amount of time to do a pilot batch as you do with the big batch, and you get so much smaller yield. So, but
That's true.
But it is kind of cool because there are a couple of beers that would not be here if it wasn't for having the tasting room and people trying it. There would be no peach IPA. There would be no Palo Santo. I mean, Palo Santo, it should have never happened, and it did. So there's a story here. Do you want to hear the story?
We would
Absolutely.
love to
All
hear
right.
the story.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, that's better. I wasn't sure what you were doing there.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, so we had a fantastic base beer. All of our beers are homebrew recipes that we've played with through the years.
And all 3 of you were homebrewers.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, we still feel like we are. So, but yeah, all 3 of us were homebrewers, and that's kind of where we met. But that's a story we can go to next. But the Palo Santo, basically, we took our porter base, and we're like, you know what? We literally had some Palo Santo wood that we've used in doing some homebrew batches, and I had some that basically was sitting in my house for a couple of years, and I'm like, let's try putting this in the porter. It's got a robust enough base to it. Enough residual sugars in it that I think it'll hold up well. So we basically took these 3 little sticks of Palo Santo wood and we put it into one of our test batches. Basically, it's a half-barrel batch. And we left it in there for about a week, and we had it, and we're amazed. It brought out like coconut, black licorice, even like some people pick out like a little bit of mint. And again, I don't want to lead the witness kind of thing before we get to taste it. And we'll forget by then anyway. But yeah, absolutely amazing what it did to the beer and how it changed it, just with that little bit of time and that little bit of contact time with the wood. So we put it in the tasting room, put it on tap, went through it in a weekend. We're like, oh, okay, this might be a thing. So we had to go out and buy some more of the Palo Santo wood, and it was really hard to find. It's this site that you probably never heard of, eBay.
Found this
I
little
was
website.
wondering where you got it because I heard all the Dogfish Head stories of how rare this wood is and how hard it is.
I've
to
heard
get
of that
and-
eBay, and I think they're going to be big, so keep your eye on them.
I don't know. It's really hard to find. Like I couldn't spell it right, but finally figured it out through one of my translators from Pennsylvania. Oops, sorry. But so
Taking a lot of abuse today.
yeah, you know what?
Hey,
you deserve
as
it.
long as he keeps
I mean,
giving
no.
us beer, he
exactly.
can abuse. This is all he wants.
So so it's really cool that the Palo Santo wood, actually the one that we get it's from it's like a South American wood, and what they do is they only harvest the wood. We only get in these little tiny chunks and all that, and they only harvest the branches that fall down. So it's not
okay.
like they're cutting trees
Right.
down and not making 10,000 gallon fermenters out of it. We are just taking the chunks that we get, sanitizing it.
No, I have to interrupt you. I think the real reason they do that is because they can't physically cut down the damn trees. Come on now, seriously.
Fair enough. I would not want to be the one that has to do that.
Yeah.
Either way, whether you're cutting or you're the one that's
It's like
harvesting.
the hardest
Yeah.
wood in the freaking planet.
Agreed. But absolutely amazing what it does to a beer. Not all actual wood varieties work great, but it is one that we just think complements the beer. The chocolate brings it out. I'll stop again leading the
Are you worried about not being able to get this wood? I mean, will there be a time where this beer will just no longer exist because of how rare the wood is?
Right now, I don't think so. I mean, it seems like there's an abundance because a lot of people use it for other things. They use it for things like incense and like it'll burn for a long time apparently. So you just light one of these little sticks and it'll burn on its own for hours. So, but yeah, from that standpoint, it doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, there are some other woods that we know breweries are struggling with. I know like Spanish cedar is one that used to be something you could buy spirals of, and there's one brewery in Florida that uses it, Cigar City.
Yeah.
And from what I understand is they've had troubles trying to source Spanish cedar, so that's why a lot of a lot of their beers that they used to have are no longer in existence until they can find another source for it. So we don't have any cedar beers.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Just imagine coming home and there's a branch of Palo Santo on your front porch.
If anybody has any Palo Santo trees and they'd like to donate,
That's one of the things you got to worry about, though, using, let's say, like an exotic ingredient, but something a little different like that you don't see everywhere. It works really well, and the beer takes off, and you mass produce it and all that. You do always have to worry what happens if we can't get this
Well,
thing
you have the
anymore.
same problem with hops.
Yeah, well, yeah, even with hops, yeah, absolutely.
Probably even
Yeah.
more of a worry of getting the same hops over and over again than the wood.
I
But
guess the lesson is brew it and sell it while you can.
yes. And I will agree that hops, that is the thing that keeps us awake at night.
Yeah.
Not having a hop contract, and any breweries that are starting up, one of the main things you have to do, get a hop contract early. I mean, we were very limited in our first year, and we had to go into, it's a spot market, there's other markets. Basically, it's like an exchange for hops. So we're paying 20, 50, 100% more than our contract just to get the hops.
Yeah.
So that IPA, which I hear is a popular style, is also the most...
I think might be related to the whole trouble getting hops thing as well.
You know what? I haven't done any
I think
research
there
on
might
that,
be a
but
correlation there.
but that is the problem. All the hops, like the hops that everybody knows and loves, are also the hops all the breweries are trying to get, and everybody is fighting for those hops. So again, we're a lot of the hops that we were getting into this year. Basically, we're paying double. So.
You know, I read something too the other day that apparently the price of hops is about to go up, meaning that's going to get passed on to the consumer in most cases because of the drought on the West Coast.
And that
Because
doesn't
people,
help. Yeah.
especially
hops
when
are not the only thing that's going to be affected.
right, but because everybody likes their West Coast style IPA, you want to get the hops from the West Coast, and since there's no water there, apparently, even though there's a whole goddamn ocean. I know.
You're smarter than that.
I know.
Well,
To be determined. But no, it's going to get passed on, and that could be something else that becomes more
that's what we
difficult
need
and pricier to get.
encourage more local hop farmers like Sunny Bray and French Creek Organics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give a
Yep.
couple shout outs.
and
but
the
yeah.
sidewalk on the way in.
The sidewalk on the
noticed
way in
that,
here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm staring at it right now
Yes. So,
intently.
so what varieties are you growing out there?
It is Columbus, Centennial, and Chinook. But they just, it's more display.
Yeah,
We're
I
obviously
kinda
not going to
figured,
get
yeah.
any kind of yield.
Yield out of that,
We're
yeah.
hoping one
It
day.
looks
to
cool.
Yeah. We're trying. It's their first year. They're really trying their best. But, and we have a battle going on.
just wait. Your first year. You have no idea what you're in for. Year one is nice, and you're like, oh, they're so
They're so
pretty. I'm
cute,
growing
and
hops.
then-
And then year two. And then
And then
year
it's the
three.
Amazon. Wait a minute.
Yes. Oh, my God. I have so many Cascade hops right now. I don't even know what to do. And it's, oh, my God. They are just taking over my backyard.
So what was the first beer you guys brewed to at least sell to the public?
Well, we started out actually with the IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first thing that we did. We got our new system. We went through Premier Stainless. We actually had a rep out here that walked us through. Every brew system is going to be a little bit different. So you've probably never been to a brewery where it looks exactly the same as another brewery. So we hired somebody from Premier to come out and walk us through all the nuances of the system. I mean, brewing in a nutshell, I mean, the process is still the same, home brewing to commercial brewing, but it's just knowing a little bit more the technical side of things and understanding your equipment. So he basically came out and spent a couple of days with us, walked us through, what we needed to do, and once we got our permit, came back out to brew with us. So our first brew day, we brewed. We realized that hop utilization is different from homebrew scale to commercial. Absolutely. So we backed our hops down around 22%. It was not enough. The beer was our first IPA. It was fine. It was sellable. It was more West Coast, very dry, very hoppy, very bitter, and it wasn't what we were going for. So we backed down our bittering hop. We adjusted a couple of things in there. Adjusted the grain crush, and our second batch we were way happier. We did keep a keg that we'll bring out for the anniversary party of the original batch.
No way. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, see how it was. But it's funny. Everybody's going to be different. Everybody has a different palate. So when we adjusted the recipe, some people are like, no, don't change it. We really like it the way it is. Honestly, most people do like it the way it is right now, where there's a little bit of a malty backbone to it. And the second batch, we were taking a look at how the efficiency of the brew house was. We were told to go in at a very low efficiency. Like as homebrewers, we're in like the mid 80s, give or take. And it's like start out at around 75% efficiency, and we're like, okay, we checked it, and our efficiency was probably about 85%. So our next batch, we're like, cool, the porter. We're going to do the porter next. And we're like, we'll assume that it's going to be at least 85% efficient. We adjusted the grain crush, everything else. So we did it, and it was way under 70% efficient. Like, it was supposed to be 6.9%, this big, robust porter, and it came in at 4.5%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Porter.
That's session porter.
that became our session porter. I mean, we are very deceptive with the names of our beers, as you know. I mean, yeah, our peach IPA is actually, it's more like grapefruit and thyme. But we realize that people don't know who we are. So we're Spellbound Brewing, and people don't know us, so why create these names that are crazy that nobody understands? We're not going to name a beer after our cat or our dog that nobody understands. We see some of the labels that are out there. You buy the beer, or you pick the beer up, you're like, I don't even know what this beer is.
Yeah, looking for the fine print.
Yeah, can't read the label, first of all. Trying to find something that describes it. And we're like, so we'd rather do something like, okay, let's use straight up names. You know what you're getting. It's not going to taste different. If you get a peach IPA that doesn't taste like a peach IPA, then talk to management. But from that standpoint, we try to be smart about it. I mean, we do have the barley wine, which is the first one. We kind of branched off. Yeah, but it says right on there that it is our barley wine style ale. But anyway, I don't want to get too off topic here. Oh, and I see Scott just showed up.
Hey, Scott.
What's up, Scott? Well, should we pour some more beer? And then we can talk more?
I think we should, yeah.
Let's do that.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Okay, so we've got 3 beers in front of us. And as we were pouring them, some of us got confused and poured multiples of the same one. But I'm very excited to have them because it's the 3 variations of the porters.
I don't think Steph got confused. I think she just wanted more beer.
Yep,
It's like, I accidentally poured the same one twice, so now I have to drink both of these and pour myself
I'm
another
going
one.
to chug this one, oh darn.
Or surprisingly, I might say that maybe it's a Pennsylvania thing.
Oh,
It's probably a pencil.
All right, I'm done with that. I promise.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm going to move to Canada. I feel so bad about myself now.
Okay, well, on that note,
So we're starting with...
yeah, so we have the 3 variations, the 3 porters that you do. So we have the standard porter, we have a coffee porter, and then we have the
That Palo Santo.
I almost said Palo Santo, as the other one. Now, the original porter, is that the one that we're tasting first?
Yes.
Okay, let's go
But
ahead.
I would recommend not drinking the whole thing.
Okay.
I think we should go through and taste a little bit of each one and then
And then
kind
we
of
can come back.
compare them. So save a little bit. And I mean, there's fleekers
I
full
like
of
those.
them.
I like those things.
They're 1,000 milliliter.
That's a lot of milliliters.
That is.
Oh.
I like.
Isn't 1,000 milliliters a liter?
That would be how metric works.
But it says 1,000 milliliters. It just
1,000
sounds
milliliters
cooler.
sounds a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 1,000 pennies.
Oh Lord.
Or $10. All right, so we are starting by tasting the porter. So, John, tell us about this porter.
The porter, it's 6.9%. A lot of chocolatey coffee notes to it. It's more on the robust side. Believe it or not, like if you take a look at classifications, we don't fit into anything. It's not a porter. It's not a robust porter. Like the alcohol levels and things like that, it doesn't fit into a category, which is uncool but cool when you're trying to send it to GABF. Mm-hmm. So basically, we use a lot of chocolate malt, Munich malt, and a little bit of two-row, and a little bit of Magnum as our bittering hop, and that is it. It's very simple. Most of our beers are very, very simple. Very few ingredients that we use, and that's the one thing we've actually found for the years. When you first get into home brewing, you're like, oh man,
Let's put everything in this.
Yeah, I'm going to have like 15 different malts and 20 different hops, and it's going to be great. No.
Yeah.
And as you get more and more nuanced and you really figure out what hops and what malts really sing, that's basically what we did. So, but this is Scott's. It's one of his base recipes that he had, and actually all three of the porters that we're going to be doing, it's the same base recipe. It's just adding something after fermentation.
This is, even just as the base porter, is delicious. I really like it.
It's satisfying. It's super satisfying. When you want something dark and roasty, like this, it like hits the spot.
It's comforting. Mm-hmm. It's like almost like a comfort food version of a porter. You know, like it's warm and like inviting. And I know you have the coffee porter, which I'm really excited to get to. But this has notes of coffee in the aroma by itself that I really like.
Yep.
And this is going to be really random, but just smelling it reminds me of when I used to hang out at the Hard Bean Cafe, the coffee shop in Reading. Used to hang out there all the time and drink coffee and sit on my computer with friends and pretend we were going to do awesome things with our lives that never happened. But
you did do awesome things. You're here.
Well, yeah, but this wasn't one of the things I was planning.
It has that like the harsh bitterness of like a really dark coffee that like hits you and you like love it, but then it goes away. And it finishes like creamy and dark chocolate and roasty, and it almost feels like you're swimming in the mash.
Yeah,
It's all about the malts here.
Trying to find that balance too, just making sure that the beer, when it finishes, you don't want something that's going to be overly cloying. Like at the finish, it's so sweet that you're like, okay, give me 1 pint and I'm done. You want something where it's like, okay, it smells great, aroma's great, tastes great, finish is great. I want another one.
Yeah, you could definitely drink multiple pints of this.
Absolutely.
Now I want to the Palo Santo, since we just heard the great story.
Okay.
Yes,
so
The branches from eBay.
yes. That little website.
Now, as soon as you sniff this, you get something different.
Yeah, it doesn't have
really do.
it doesn't have the coffee right up front.
I kind of get that mint. I don't know if it's the power of your suggestion, but
See, I had actually forgotten until you said that, and now I get more mint.
in the aroma, I haven't tasted it yet.
Very interesting part is that I think it's one of those things. Some people get the mint, and I personally don't get it, and there's other people that don't get the mint at all. But enough people have said that, oh yeah, I get like a little bit of mint, and I still want to find it, and I have not found it yet.
Yeah.
So
The flavor right up front, it punches me with that coconut. And it's so good. And then those roasty flavors come in, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is a porter.
it's very complex. It's delicious. And it's got like a spice character to it. I think that kind of comes off that mint, like a herbal, spicy kind of.
I'm at a loss for words.
I got the mint in the second sip. I didn't. The first time it was like coconut.
So I got the mint first, and now I'm getting more like bitter chocolate.
And that's all from the wood.
Yeah,
because you don't
it's amazing.
add any of those things to this beer.
Yeah.
the best part about this beer is if you let it sit out and it gets to room temperature, like it brings out so many new flavors. It keeps changing
This one is
as
it,
it
right?
gets warmer.
You know,
We should put this aside and then drink
try
it
it later on. I
Let
almost
it
get
warm up.
like cinnamon out of it almost.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it you get the coconut that you were saying, you get the cinnamon. It reminds me of like a sugar cookie with cinnamon sugar in it almost.
Yeah, almost like a
With sprinkled-
gingerbread-ish.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot going on in
But
here.
like you have the sprinkle of coconut on it because apparently that's what you do with those. But I've never done it, but I want to do it now because it reminds me. Oh my god, this is great.
This
Holy
was
crap.
beyond the amazing Ghost Pepper Serrano Chili beer you made last time I was here, which was still one of my favorite beers ever. You take that out of the equation. This was my favorite last time we were here.
Holy
and I know
crap.
Mark, our friend Mark Graves, formerly from Maniac, now with Flying Fish.
Amazing.
That guy.
There he is. He's sitting at the bar. He is the one that told us about this place. He was here texting me, telling me about this place, sitting at the bar drinking beers. He's like, you guys need to come here. You need to come here. And he is the reason we are here. And this is his favorite beer here. And he's told me multiple times whenever Spellbound comes up in conversation that this is his favorite beer. And I can see why. You know, to the average beer drinker or to someone that brews professionally, they can recognize the complexities. I mean, every time you take a sip, it's something different.
Yeah.
It's almost like a different beer. You just keep layering on new flavors that you didn't notice when you took the sip before.
I'm excited to see what happens with that down there when we drink it later.
I
as
put it
warms
down there
up.
so we remember which one it is.
And also so you keep it away from me so I don't pour more and kill it off. Because that will happen.
Well, speaking of, before we finish this one, because we should save a little bit so we can compare, let's
you.
go on to the coffee.
The coffee. Coffee.
Coffee.
To the coffee.
Oh.
Wow. You like right up front, you get the
Yeah.
the coffee. Like it's
Is this local coffee? Whose coffee is in
Folgers.
here? Is it
Sorry.
Folgers in your
Yes.
cup?
It's a Jersey thing.
Of course. That's all we have here.
Ooh.
We are allowed. Apparently, we have Dunkin' Donuts and some Starbucks, and that's it. But no, this is actually from a place. It's the Daily Grind, local place in Mount Holly. This is Ethiopian coffee beans. It's like a single origin, single source kind of thing. We've played around with a lot of different coffee beans in the porter, different ways to actually get the coffee taste into it. I mean, we've used everything from making a pot of coffee to putting in ground coffee to whatever it might be. But basically this, we added whole beans that we sterilized, put into bags, put it right into the kegs. And that's kind of the process. But we've used dark roast, makes the beer too astringent. We use lighter roast, you don't get enough. So this is like a medium roast, like right in between, just great nuance. But the thing that kind of softens it a little bit more is we add cocoa nibs. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
yes, so it takes away a little bit of that roastiness.
Yeah, because you get you get the coffee flavor, but you don't get that punch.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting for how aromatic it was.
You get more in the coffee and the aroma
which
too.
allows
yeah,
you
and it
to
sort of-
really taste the coffee. Like I get those the blueberry notes from the coffee that sometimes when it is too astringent, you miss those flavors.
Yep.
It's nice. I love coffee beers.
Me too.
I do too. Yeah,
And it is caffeinated.
Oh, thank God.
that's good as well.
I wanted to grab a cup of coffee before coming here, and I didn't get a chance.
You just need to keep drinking this. So we alluded to
darn.
it earlier, but never heard the story. Tell us about how the three of you met and eventually came up with this crazy idea to open a brewery together.
And what, in fact, were you thinking?
Correct. We're still trying to figure that part out. So I've been a friend with Mike Oliver, like basically all of my life, just about. He was a good friend of my brother's, and who is not here yet. But we were friends. Definitely got into like craft beer, and we started doing some home brewing and just playing around a little bit. And then we really kind of all got together when we met Scott. And the place that we met Scott was at High Street Grill in Mount Holly, which is unfortunately no longer there. But they used to have like a little homebrew competition, and we would enter, and every time we entered, Scott would win with his porter and some variant of that porter. So it would be like vanilla porter, coffee porter, whatever. So we're trying all these crazy beer styles. Mike actually, he did win an award. He won a medal there with his Hefeweizen, which that's another beer that we're going to be doing soon. But basically it was infuriating in a way. It's like, all right, here's the guy you have to go up against, and I'm like, oh, I know I have it with this one. I have Imperial Stout, and his beers were just phenomenal. It just didn't have it dialed in, but it was one of those things where you like realize that, you know what, you can take homebrewing to another level. And
I thought you
then
were going to see if you can't beat them, join them.
yeah,
Kind of where it
pretty
ended up.
much. So the owner, John McDevitt, John and Nancy owned High Street Grill. John's like, you really have to meet this guy that's really good at homebrewing, and he wins a lot of the medals. And I'm like, okay, who? And he's like, Scott. And so introduced us to Scott. And then we did what most homebrewers, we're like, oh yeah, we make beers. They're just as good as anybody else does. We should start a brewery. Mm-hmm. And we kept on saying that as we drank, and then it was like, yeah, love you, bro, that kind of thing. And at the end of the night, you wake up the next day and like you don't remember that you had that conversation. Next time you're together, it's like, hey, we can make beers just as good as these guys. Yeah, we should start a brewery. Yeah, love you, bro. And and so we did it enough times that we realized that, you know what? We think we could do it. Me and Mike tried to start a brewery. We weren't ready for it financially, just not time-wise, like things like that. And we tried that once. Didn't work out in 2008, and it kind of refocused us on this. And then when Scott came on board, I was like, okay, there's an impetus for us to actually see if we can do this. So let's get together and not drink.
Novel idea.
Wait. Did you actually not drink?
It did not drink. Anytime we met, when we talked about the state of the business, like trying to actually start the brewery, no drinking.
Right.
At the end, yay, lots.
Yes.
There's the secret. That's what we got to do.
Yes.
See, I usually start our meetings with a pint of something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's a meeting. Here's a beer.
I don't know. I often drink coffee.
So the one of the biggest tips for anybody that wants to start a brewery:
don't drink.
Don't drink when you meet.
Yeah.
Put together your notes, make sure they're cohesive, and you have everything you need written for the next day so you can actually understand it.
And then you can drink.
Yes. So, and that really helped us along the way. We figured out that we could do this, and then it became a question of how big. So, nano, bigger. We talked to a lot of people that helped us in the industry. That's the beauty of craft beer right now, is the fact that everybody wants to help each other. Mm-hmm. We don't always have time. People don't always have time to do it, but when they can, people have been so supportive. We've had so many breweries, so many friends, and so many people we've met. We would not be here without them. So, but one of the things that we learned is, like, if you want to do a production brewery, you probably don't want to do anything less than 15 to 20 barrel for your brew house. Otherwise, all you're doing
brew.
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically a really big homebrew kit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but again, with the law change in Jersey, it made it a lot more approachable for nano breweries, and it actually became something where you could establish a business because you can now sell pints to the public. So, big difference.
Yeah.
But
that definitely makes a huge difference, because I know the law recently changed in our side of the river, in Pennsylvania. But I know, but before that, people would complain, we're the only business that's forced to give our product away at a tasting room. We can't charge people to sit and drink beer in our tasting room. So we have, people are going to come in, they're going to want samples. We have to give our product away. And, it's nice to see those laws easing up, kind of, I think pretty much all over the place, wherever they're still pretty restrictive. And it definitely
Except
helps.
Utah.
Well, yeah, whatever. I don't care about Utah.
I'll be there next
harsh.
week.
You're going to be in Utah?
I will let you know.
Yes.
You're going to Utah.
I will be in Nevada, Utah, and Arizona.
What is there in Utah that you're going to?
Zion. There is a brew pub at the entrance to
Of course.
Zion.
I was waiting for it. Of course there is.
But apparently I have to order food in order to have beer.
And you can't get a beer
And the beer
over...
is going to be below something percent.
I think it was 4, if I remember
Somewhere
right.
around there. And then one of them you have to get, you can't get a beer over 4 or 6% on tap. It has to be from a bottle.
I'll have to write an article.
know,
I
but
drank
anyway.
in Utah.
Yeah, this is how it works.
This is how it
This
works.
is how drinking in Utah works.
wait, I thought it has to be like something where you have to pump it from a well, or
Yeah, and you have to.
Yes.
Your ankles must be covered while you're drinking.
No children can be around.
yes.
Well, that's probably good anyway.
There you go. We can all make fun of Utah, and no one has to make fun of Pennsylvania anymore.
Can I make fun of Pennsylvania for
No.
some... I don't know.
I didn't mind making fun of Pennsylvania.
No, it's mean.
Why can't I buy beer and liquor in the same store?
Well, hey, it's getting better. But even in California, like Ballast Point, they have the distillery, but the distillery, while in the brewery, has to have a separate address from the brewery. And I could not buy the spirits at the brewery, nor could I taste them. I had to go to a Bevmo to buy my habanero vodka.
Bevmo's nice, though.
Yeah, it's like the West Coast.
We really got on quite a tangent here.
It's the West Coast. What's a place in
Total Wine.
Wine?
Total
Thank
Wine.
you.
Yeah.
We should play a game.
Oh my!
That was quite a tangent.
Wow.
That was an abrupt segue.
Yeah,
And
I
that
think I
was-
fell off my chair.
Tangents with Steph.
Well,
Is that what we're doing?
is that what we're doing?
Moving on to the next
That's what
segment.
we're doing.
All
It's
right.
time.
Steph
Okay.
has decreed, therefore it is. So apparently we're going to play a game. Wayne, what is this game that we are playing?
Well, I just have to say, given our brief conversation earlier about the names of the beers, I don't know if John here is either going to love or hate this game, because this is a game that's all about beer names.
We have a surprise guest who doesn't work with Spellbound. However, this guy is the reason that we are at Spellbound.
And he
because
lives in Jersey, so he's awesome in John's eyes.
Of course. we had him on the show before with Manayunk, but this is his official Beer Busters debut from Flying Fish. Mr. Mark Graves, how are you, sir?
Hello. How are you
Rocking
guys doing?
gravy in the house.
Slimy sauce, rocking gravy.
Also known as slimy sauce.
I feel like you need to be hitting some buttons right now.
Amazing. Great tits. There it is. Les tits.
Yeah.
he's on the soundboard a lot.
There's more.
I feel like
but,
he should be on our payroll too,
oh,
because
there's-
we use his voice.
Heyo.
How is that payroll?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing,
No,
yeah.
it's not.
It's amazing.
But Mark, thank you so much for really getting us to Spellbound, because phenomenal beer, phenomenal people, and I'm very excited to be here. So we owe a debt of gratitude to you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, John and the boys put out really good product and just wanted to share it with everyone, really.
Yeah. Well, I also owe you a personal thanks that I'm gonna throw out there. I went out of town. Mark stepped up and took care of my cat because my cat's got bad teeth and she has to eat soft food that goes hard if it's left out too long. So thank you, Mark.
Slimy sauce coming to the rescue.
Moo thanks you as well.
TMI.
Mark, he likes cats.
Yes, exactly. That's like your tagline. Mark, he likes cats. Well, we somewhere along the way we mentioned playing a game. So Wayne,
Yes.
what are we doing?
Well, where's my music? There it is. Thank you, Maestro. Welcome, people of the interwebs, to another installment of Happy Fun Time Games, the only podcast trivia segment recommended by 4 out of 5 unlicensed, illegally practicing dentists, and holds the world record for surviving the most simultaneous lightning strikes and bear attacks.
You wrote that in the backseat of my
I
Subaru.
wrote that in the car on the way here.
Well-
and used part of your conversation as
There's a
inspiration.
Was
guy-
fairly
And he was
topical.
driving.
There's
I
a
wasn't
guy-
driving.
No, this is a real story. There's a ranger at Shenandoah National Park who has survived 7 lightning strikes. He has a world record for that, and 22 bear attacks.
Yes.
They called him the
Raging Cajun? I
no.
don't know.
What's
Lightning
that actor?
rod?
What's that actor guy that
White
you don't
lightning?
mess with? You Google him, you die. Oh my God.
Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris. He's the Chuck Norris of National Park.
Yet
Their
another Steph
intro.
tangent.
First, he walks around with a 30-foot long pole that has meat on it.
Yeah,
So
Probably.
Part of it, yes. But Happy Funtime Games holds the world records for surviving the most simultaneous lightning strikes and bear attacks, or bears riding lightning. So
Or
that's,
you're making stuff
that's
up.
much more badass. Anyway, today we embark upon the continuation of the beerdication of the Beer Buster Nation with the original libation or fabrication, except no substitutes, because there's some of them popping up out there in the podcastiverse. But this is the original. Anyway, how this game works, as most of you may know, but I don't think John does, so I'll explain it to you. I am going to tell you the name of the beer, and you're going to have to tell me if that's a real beer or a fake beer. Whether I made it up or somebody really, really named a beer that. We'll go around the table. Everybody will give her a guess, and we'll alternate who goes first. And we will begin, as always is tradition, on Beer Busters to my left with Dan. And this one is especially for you. This first beer is called Tastes Like Burning, Ralph Wiggum's Revenge.
Wait, is that actually part of the name, Ralph Wiggum's Revenge?
That is a parenthetical after the first parts, yes. Is that a real beer or is that fake?
You know, I'm going to go fake because Fox would not let that fly.
All right, Dan is going to say fake. John, what do you think? Is that real?
I agree.
You're going to agree that it's fake?
Yes.
All right, slimy sauce.
I'm going slimy. It's got to be real.
It's got to be
going
real.
slimy.
Mark's going slimy with the real.
I'm
And
going to
finally,
agree with
Steph.
the big tuna. I'm going to say real.
All right, you got a lot of nicknames. Steph is also saying real, and
I don't know who Mark is anymore.
Mark and Steph are actually correct. It is
Wow.
a really real beer. It's a one-time brew. It's a 6.3% ABV smoked beer. appropriately enough, by Ithaca Beer Company in New York. It was not made with tobacco. However, it was aged for 4 months in a Tabasco sauce barrel.
That's why it tastes like burning.
It sounds
I
really
want it.
interesting.
I want it in my mouth.
Yeah, you might be hard-pressed to find it. They only brewed it once. But,
Damn it.
And then they got sued,
and now they're out of business.
By the way,
Then they got struck by lightning.
Then they got struck by lightning.
And then mauled by a bear.
not only is Duff available at Universal Studios, but it is going to be distributed starting in South America, apparently. But because of all the knockoffs, they're actually saying, let's go ahead and distribute Duff beer.
That's
Get out ahead of
terrible.
that.
and you can get a Jawa with a plastic cape.
Yes. Okay, moving on to our next beer, and our rookie at the table, John's going to go first on this one. And this beer is called It Can't Be Tuesday Again Already. Is that real or fake?
Wow, that feels so brewery. But now I feel, since the first one was real, I think I'm going fake.
You're going to go fake on that one?
Yeah,
All
I'm going to take my chances on that one.
right. All right. Taking chances. I like it. A risk taker. Mark, what do you think?
I'm going fake. I feel like it should be Monday if it was. I can't believe
Yes.
it.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Interesting strategy. Steph, what do you think?
I'll say fake also.
Agreeing with Big Tuna once again?
I have to agree with Big Tuna.
And coming around to Dan, real, fake, agree, or buck the trend?
It will put me in no worse position if I agree with everyone else, so I'm going fake.
You're going fake as well. Everyone is absolutely correct.
Yay!
That is, in fact, fake. It is not a real beer. It's not really a sensical statement either, but I never could get the hang of Tuesdays. Moving on to our next beer, and Slimy Sauce himself is going to go up first on this one. And this beer is called For 5 Years I Was Stranded on an Island with Only One Goal: Survive. Is that real or fake?
Wow.
That's the name.
You know what?
That's the name.
With all the crazy one-offs lately, I'm going real on that one.
You're going to go real on that one? All right. Mark's saying real. Steph, what do you think?
I feel like I need to continue the trend and just agree with Mark. I'm going to say real.
You can say real again. All right. Fair enough.
It's so
Dan?
funny that we brew this.
Well, in that case,
That would be amazing.
It would be what?
the look of defeat on your face.
He's like, why didn't I sit at this table?
I think I'm going to say... I'm going to go real.
You're going to go real on that one. Okay. And rounding it out with John, what do you think? Real? Fake?
Wow. I mean, he has a strategy, and I'm like, should I go that route?
Circle gets
if
the
I,
square.
you know
look
what?
at the
Just-
scoreboard.
I'm going fake.
You're going to go fake?
Whoa.
Everybody went real.
Bucking
What the
the
heck?
trend.
John's going to go
Bucking the
fake on that
trend.
one. That was not a good strategy because it was, in fact,
Come over to the
real.
winning
Yes.
side.
It was so horrible that it had to be.
My name is
Yeah,
Oliver
wait,
Queen.
it has to be a Tired Hands beer.
For 5 years, I was stranded on an island with only one goal: survive. Now I will fulfill my father's dying wish to use the list of names he left me and bring down those who are poisoning my city. To do this, I must become someone else. I must
Batman?
become something else. Bonus points if everybody knows where
Arrow?
that's from. Yes,
There it is.
yes. Rock and Gravy gets some bonus points here. We're going to go a +1 on that. Yes, that is a quote from the opening sequence of the TV show Arrow, but it is also the name of a ABV Imperial IPA brewed once by Eternity Brewing Company in Michigan for the 2015 Summer Beer Festival in Ypsilanti.
Wow.
There you
That
go.
beer title is an eternity.
Yeah, and it was a one-off.
It's
so it
like
was,
Tired Hands beer list. Come on.
Okay, and we are on our
Mark's turn to go first.
So yeah, it is Mark's turn to go first.
No, it's actually.
No.
I was just gonna say, I think you.
Nice
went
try,
first, right?
Steph.
Yeah, that's why I was double checking myself. It is your
Damn it.
turn to go first, and this next beer is called. One day at the supermarket, I ran into an old acquaintance and asked him how his wife was doing, and he said they got divorced and it was really awkward. Oatmeal stout. Is that real or fake?
Fake.
Steph is saying that is fake. Over to Dan. Is that real or fake?
It would never fit on a label, on a
You couldn't write it with all the
menu
ink in the
board,
universe.
What about a sixtel?
No, maybe a half.
They could just put the initials.
But it could be Evil Twin.
Oh, God. I'm actually going to go fake.
Dan is going fake. Okay, John, what do you think?
Oh, my strategy's going to fail. I know it again.
You have 1 point so far.
I know.
Better
you are
than
in,
0.
You are in last place.
I know. Yeah, but we're at Spellbound, so I'm okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, man. I don't know where Mark is going with this. I'm going to
I know.
go
That's
with,
why I was trying to get him to go first.
I think I'm going to go fake.
You're going to go fake on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with the masses.
Fake.
Mark is saying fake.
Yes,
Everybody
I
says
chose
fake.
the right thing.
Everybody is correct.
Yes!
That It's not a real beer. It's not a real story. But faithful Beer Busters listeners will remember that This Divorce Has Been Hard on Everyone is a real beer by Dabbler Brewing.
Yes.
But I think My Name is better.
Honestly, Divorce is my favorite.
Honestly, Divorce is my favorite. If Ken and Paul are listening, feel free to use it. Please make out all royalty checks to Beer Busters Media Limited. Our final beer, and we're going to go ahead and swing back around to our favorite first batter, my brother Dan to my left. And this beer is called Tools Show Chem Special Fejo Limited. Don't you be messing with the McKellar Bartender Crew or they will fuck you up. Doubled vintage, extra barrel aged edition, Cassis ×2.
How did that start?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to go real because you looked really confused while you were reading.
All right. Okay. Interesting strategy. Dan's going to go real on that one. John, what do you think?
Wow. I'm going to go with. I'm looking for a tail here. Anything.
Poker face.
You're never going to get one.
Poker face.
No, I'm going fake.
You're going fake? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I did hear McKellar in there, so it could be 100% real.
Evil
but
Twin,
yeah.
McKellar.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know.
that angry bartender talk sounded pretty aggressive. I'm kind of going real on that one.
You're going real on that one? Okay.
I'm sticking with my strategy. I'm agreeing with Rock and Gravy, and I'm saying real.
You're saying real? All right, John, you were the only one who got that one incorrect.
Yay.
It is, in fact, real. It was a lambic. It was brewed on the small Danish isle of Fejo, I don't know how you pronounce it, for the 1-year anniversary of the McKellar Bar. It was made with 1 kilogram of black currant for every 2 liters of lambic. It is also listed as sporting a curious 1 IBU. So there is...
That is fairly
Yeah.
curious.
It has a shorter name, but the long name is
But
fun.
the longer name is awesome.
And I'm not going to say it again. But
Please.
Yeah. Tools Show... it begins with, like, things I can't pronounce. Tools Show Tem Special Fejo Limited. Don't you be messing with the McKellar Bartender Crew or they will fuck you up. Doubled vintage, extra barrel aged edition, Cassis ×2 X2.
Wow.
It's really long. Okay, so we're going to add up the points here. And ladies and gentlemen,
Just like in golf,
I'm going to tell you that just like in golf,
John wins.
someone wins and someone loses. So we actually would have a tie for first place between Steph and Slimy Sauce.
But
Since our buddy Big Tuna got himself a bonus point for knowing that it was an arrow quote, he actually has 6. So Mark is our winner with 6 points.
Yay.
Steph is just behind with a perfect score of 5. Dan actually has 4 points, a decent showing. Fist bump on that.
All
one.
right, fist bump.
John, you lost, but you got 2 right, so better
Yay.
than nothing.
Jazz hands
Rocking
for
the
John.
deuce.
Rocking the deuce. Well, I feel like we should learn something. People from Pennsylvania are capable of teaching things to other people, just so everyone at the table is aware. The Jersey residents at the table. In that vein,
Know your beers.
Steph,
Thanks for sticking up for us, Dan.
no problem.
So during the tasting segments of our episodes, you can be sure that either Dan or Wayne is going to ask, "What's the ABV?"
Hey, Steph, what's the ABV?
But do you really know what that means?
Alcohol by volume.
ABV, or alcohol by volume, represents what portion of the total volume of liquid is alcohol. To determine the ABV of beer, a brewer uses a hydrometer, which is an instrument that aids in measuring the density of liquid in relation to water. Brewers fill a cylinder with beer, and the hydrometer free floats in the cylinder. The hydrometer is calibrated to read 1.000 in water at 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the denser the liquid, like adding sugar to the liquid, the higher the hydrometer reading. Before yeast cells are added to begin fermenting the beer, the sugar-filled liquid is called wort. A brewer will take a hydrometer measurement of the wort to determine the original gravity, or OG. Yeast is then pitched into the wort and fermentation begins. Yeast cells eat the sugar in the wort, creating carbonation, alcohol, and flavors. Hydrometer readings are taken throughout fermentation, but once fermentation is complete, the last hydrometer reading is called the final gravity, or FG. The ABV is calculated by subtracting the final gravity from the original gravity and then multiplying by 131. For example, if the OG is measured at 1.08 and the FG measurement is 1.011, you subtract them, get 0.069 times 131 is 9.039, or about 9% ABV. Now, some brewers still use what's called alcohol by weight, or ABW. If you purchase a beer that has ABW listed instead of ABV, the alcohol content is going to be higher than you think. To convert ABW to ABV, simply multiply the ABW by 1.25. So, for example, a 7% ABW beer would be about a 9% ABV beer. If for some reason you want to convert ABV to ABW, multiply the ABV percent by 0.8. Now you know.
No, I don't.
The more you know.
So, I can honestly say I've never heard of ABW before.
You don't really see it. I've heard of it. I've seen it on the internet, but I've never seen it on a beer.
I've seen it on the
I've
internet.
seen a lot of
I've seen
things
a
on
lot
the
on the
internet.
internet that I haven't seen in real life.
There's a lot of math involved with that.
There's a lot of math involved with brewing.
Yeah, it is chemistry.
It's a lot of chemistry.
I am-
It's a lot of algebra. It's a lot of engineering. It's a lot of math and science.
I will probably never brew then.
You have brewed.
Well, I mean, my own stuff, like without help of other
You've
people.
brewed with people telling you what to do.
That's the best way to do
That
it.
really is. Yeah, people who know what they're doing
Do
can
this.
tell me what to do.
Do that.
All right.
You'll learn as well.
Cool. Well, on that
Just
note,
like we did now.
because my brain hurts, we should drink more.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
All right. So we have a few other beers that are left on the table here. I mean, new to the table. But we're starting
smells
off
so
with
good.
one that apparently smells "quote unquote" so good.
smells so
I haven't
It
taken a
does.
whiff of it yet, but it's the Citra, right?
Correct.
Citra Pale Ale.
Ooh, it does smell really good.
It's our same exact pale ale base. We dry hop with Citra.
All right.
I want this to be a perfume. Or
It is. It would
I-
make a
I
good
could
candle.
bathe in it.
Like a scented candle.
Ooh, I would like that candle.
Yeah, we definitely need more like hop scented things.
There's a market for it.
There is.
Yeah, but we
Totally
can't
is.
waste hops on scented shit. We need to use it for beer.
Well,
This is
we
true.
got to figure out how to synthesize like the molecules
This
that
is
create
awesome.
the aroma.
I mean,
This
think of
beer
it
is
like the
awesome.
bacon candles. They don't smell like real bacon. Like that's synthesized.
Well, just
So
like bacon bits are vegan. Explain that.
that blows my mind.
So are Oreos.
That also blows my mind because that
You know
should
what
be-
else blows my mind? This beer
This
because it's so
beer.
delicious.
It is really,
the
really,
pale
really
ale
good.
is good, but I like the Citra
Yes,
first
this
even
elevates
better.
it.
It's really good.
I know we were called out for asking the inevitable question, but what is the ABV on
5.5.
this? Thank you.
I'm always ready.
Yeah, so a very drinkable 5.5,
Yeah.
and a lot of the
You could
lot
drink
of the
a
hop
few of
flavor.
these.
Yeah.
Again, one of those tasting room beers. It was like, we'll give it a shot, see what happens. And it became pretty popular right off the get-go, so we kept keeping it in the tasting room, and we did a much bigger batch of it. And yeah, Citra hop. We were never fans of Citra hop. A lot of the Citra hop beers we had were over Citra, so it's a very like raw tasting hop when you use too much of it. So it's one of those things, almost like Mosaic, and not to get too geeky, but it's easy to overuse.
Yeah.
So we used a little bit more than we did with the Cascade in terms of the amount of hop that we used. But again, same exact base beer. We just played with it a little bit, and that's the advantage of having the two 10-barrel fermenters, is that we can switch it up a little bit. And unfortunately, you're drinking what is the last keg of Citra in the house.
Ooh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It will come back. It will come back.
Watch for
Citra
it,
will
people.
return.
Oh,
In.
without a
5,
doubt.
4.
This summer, in a world where Citra is delicious.
I like
I
this
don't know where I
world.
was going with that.
It's in New Jersey.
It's in
That's right.
New Jersey. You
I
thought
get-
you knew New Jersey. I'm sorry.
Can we
I'll
talk
stop
about the beer now?
Talk about beer.
Let's talk about the beer.
I get a lot of lemon notes that I just love.
You know what? I don't get that.
What do you get? Give me your word.
Citra.
Citra.
That doesn't count.
Oh, what I like about Citra is it has the citrusy character, but it's also dank. You know.
Yes.
It kind of crosses that line between like the really dank and pungent
but not
hoppiness.
that like lingering
But giving it a
bitterness. I need
yeah.
a glass of water.
Oh yeah,
dank.
not like the cigar in my mouth
It
kind of.
it
Yeah.
hashtag cleans up after
It
itself.
does clean up after itself.
Hashtag, huh? Okay.
Am I allowed to say that again?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. I said it earlier and you didn't yell at me,
I know.
so I thought it was
we
acceptable
we
again.
had a hashtag free streak for a
well,
while.
we have
so.
the original tablecloth in front of us, so
Are there any hashtags?
Yeah, this
on
is not our on the road tablecloth. This is actually our in studio tablecloth, which we haven't broke out in a long
hashtag
time.
OGT,
I don't know what that means.
original gangster tablecloth. OGTC. So this beer's really good. I like this beer.
It is good.
I'm going to shut up.
Well, we have to keep talking because I don't want to have to chug it.
What's the ABV on this again?
5.5.
5.5.
I had the
Does
answer.
anybody else want to ask?
What are the IBUs?
There you go.
35.
Oh,
Thanks, Wayne.
Why
You're
would you-
welcome, Wayne.
can't answer your own question.
On this program, you're allowed to.
Yes.
Usually we don't get this silly until the end of the second tasting segment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, we tricked you. It's actually 11.5%.
Booyah!
So certainly
when-
doesn't taste it.
Remember when we were talking about staying in Jersey? Yeah.
Hey, I have
might
a
be
DD, thank
Yeah,
God.
that's true.
Yes. Yeah, both of you do, and he's over there
Hopefully selling T-shirts, right?
not selling T-shirts.
Not selling
Nope.
So that was a really, really good beer, but I feel like we need to go on to the IPA now.
And now that you won't taste anything,
What does that say, cherry?
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Is this
You know,
the IPA?
it was in a pitcher, not a fleeker.
you might even want to go with the cherry triple at this point because you might
No,
not get the hop.
that's the peach.
That would be the IPA.
Should we go to the cherry?
Let's go to cherry. Let's go to cherry.
Yeah.
Cherry.
We're changing things up.
It's going to reset us a little bit because the hops obviously destroy taste buds and fun
Yeah.
stuff like that. Oh, and hot pepper beers do too as well, I hear. But
I saw a skull and crossbones on a keg, just saying.
You're the only person I know that is happy about a skull and crossbones. The rest of the world just says no. I'm
Mark is
out.
excited.
Yeah,
He said he's
looks
gonna
it.
drink
He
a whole
looks it.
pint.
Oh God, of course he is. If by drink a whole pint you mean give that entire pint to
You know
Steph.
what we should do? We should challenge anybody in here who can drink a pint of it.
Give
we'll
them a T-shirt?
Give them a T-shirt.
We might kill someone.
Is it
need-
that
they should
spicy?
sign a
Yeah, I
waiver,
was gonna say
though.
we need a waiver.
That
yeah,
could
we might,
actually be a
might
little
kill
bit-
somebody tomorrow.
That, yeah.
Well, we won't be here tomorrow, so.
Yeah, we'll be long gone.
Pennsylvanians.
We're drinking the Belgian triple with cherries. I'm smelling it right now. I love that you're getting the Belgian yeasty, fruity aroma with that hint of sweet cherry in there.
Yeah, the cherry's really it's subtle in the aroma, which is nice. It's not like a huge sweet boom cherry in your
Ooh,
face.
But you get it in the taste.
Ooh, I haven't tasted it yet.
It's yummy. So, John, what's the ABV?
8.5%.
Ooh boy.
It's a big boy.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, it does not taste 8.5.
Nope.
It doesn't now.
This is the
This is the danger zone right here.
this is the beer that people that are in the tasting room when we're pouring it. This is the one we avoid because it's way too easy to drink.
yeah.
So it's like
You can be drinking and drinking, and all of a sudden, bam.
yes,
Oh, that would totally happen to me.
yeah, correct. So and it's great. This is part of the collaboration triple that we did with NJCB, the New Jersey Craft Beer Club. But basically, there was like 12 different entities. We got yeast from Iron Hill, Melavino Meadery. They gave us the honey as part of it, and basically what we did is we added cherries to the beer. We had we have another version of it, which is just a straight up triple, but this is the one that we added cherries to. It's a little bit more subtle, like very soft. Cherries are very nuanced. Like we didn't want to be over the top. Like, hey, here's a cherry bomb.
Yeah. You
It-
still get the
yeah.
triple. You know you're drinking a triple.
Oh yeah,
and, ooh,
that
there's
Belgian
cherries in
yeast
there.
shines through.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
always love when cherries are added to a triple because it complements the Belgian strain so well, and this is right up there.
Yeah, cherries do lend themselves to a good, strong Belgian style, but I like the fact that they're not overpowering. We had at Golden Avalanche there.
Oh, yeah, Jackpot.
Are we giving Colin another shout out on this episode?
We are.
He finds a way to be in our episodes without being in our episodes.
But that one was really good, but the cherry was really intense. And that was not that you should be drinking like 2 pints of an 8.7 beer anyway, but that one I think would get a little overly sweet after a while, whereas this is something that stays kind of dry and cleans up after itself.
Hashtag.
You forgot to hashtag it.
Hashtag
I'll allow it.
retroactive hashtag hashtag retroactive hashtag.
Hashtag Octothorpe.
Octothorpe.
Oh, a retro hashtag. I've never. Oh, that's good.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
You have to hit Shift and Alt to get that character.
Does it have an umlaut above it too?
I keep hitting Alt F4 because
yeah.
there's something that's supposed to happen, but
Yeah.
I screw
And
something
things
up
just
because it
keep
shuts down. I don't know what happens,
disappearing.
but
Yeah. I think it's a PEBCAC error, or it might be an ID10T error.
You had the triple at AC Brewfest.
correct.
That's where I had it, and I loved it. But the addition of the cherries just brings a little something extra, and I think I like it better with the cherries.
To me personally, I do like it better with the cherries in it. It definitely softens the beer.
Yeah.
The regular triple, I mean, you get more of the yeast, and it definitely pulls out the Belgian yeasty deliciousness, but not to quote like Charlie Day, but the cherry it definitely softens it a little bit.
And it's subtle. I don't know if I didn't know there were cherries in this that I would be like, oh, there's cherries in this. It's very subtle and it works with the beer, but it's
I think
a good.
I could tell there were cherries in it. If
Oh, gold star for you.
thanks. I like gold stars. No, but
There's hops in the IPA. I noticed that.
well, no, because
This has so much IPA in it.
That was a loving gold star. I wasn't trying to be mean.
I'm going to say that
spell IPA without PA.
water, barley, hops, and I'm thinking yeast.
Wait, Rich likes this beer.
It should be.
Breaking
whoa.
news. Breaking news.
That's a compliment if Rich likes it.
Breaking news.
The next beer will make it's going to be INJ.
INJ.
Oh boy.
India, New Jersey Ale.
India, New Jersey. Ale.
It's the Inja.
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 And when you fall down, you get injured.
And you get injured. And then you have to have a series. You have to have another one called the Inja Rap. Inja Rap.
Oh my god.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
And then
Wow,
the Go Inja Go.
I so have to go to TTB and get a cola license, get everything approved. I want Inja now.
It's yours.
Go Ninja Go.
There it is.
Of course, there's a sound clip.
Why wouldn't there be?
There's a sound clip of everything.
Just about.
So we're drinking the IPA now.
Yes.
All right.
This is the beer you can buy in cans.
In cans.
In a can.
In a can. I'll find it. Oh, wow, that's really good.
It is really good.
It's good.
We use 6 hop varieties in the beer. Basically, we bitter with Magnum, and then it's a combination of Cascade, Columbus, Centennial, Amarillo, and Simcoe.
Simcoe. Nice.
Yes, there is no Citra.
No Citra.
Well, you used it all in the Citra Pale Ale.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because we can't find any Citra.
So when you find it, you just make a beer dedicated to it.
That is correct.
Well, there's a lot of people do that, yeah. This is really good. It's a very nice, like, sort of solid IPA. Nothing super crazy going on, but really drinkable. Really brings out the hop character. It's really nice.
What's the ABV?
6.5.
6.5. All
I'm
right.
sad that she had to look down to know that.
Well, it's late in the show.
Fair enough. I figured with her, she's very passionate about our brewery,
That's
that
true.
she would just know it.
You know all of them.
Well, and I'm distracted because I know the more we drink, the closer we're getting to the Skull and Crossbones
Oh
beer.
my god.
Jeez.
Not even.
Don't spill that one on the table. There might be a fire.
The sad part is I have no idea how hot the beer is actually. It may
You
be,
never know.
It might be less than we think.
You put peppers in and you just cross your fingers and close your
Yeah.
eyes.
It's
Close your eyes, Mark.
And run far, far away.
Yes.
Oh, big tuna.
You don't want that shit in your eyes.
So IPA, again, the most expensive beer to make because hops are very expensive, which sucks. And it's also the beer at least margin in terms of from a brewery standpoint, and also the most popular style. So from a brewery, anybody that's brewing, it's basically make a lot of the things that you make the least profit from. And it makes it more difficult, but again, I understand it because we are all hop heads at Spellbound. We really, really like hoppy beers, and that's why we keep on playing with different things. That's why we have the Citra Pale, which is more like an IPA, but things like that. But yeah, our IPA, again, homebrew recipe, scaled up, and hope for the best, and we're kind of happy where it's at right now.
Yeah, I'd say it turned out really well.
It's a really solid IPA. Have you ever had to change like the hop profile in it because of availability? I know some breweries will kind of create an IPA recipe with the idea that, well, if I have to, I can switch out this variety with that variety depending on what's available, or have you always been able to get the hops that you wanted into your IPA?
We have come very close to running out of hops. Like literally ripping open 1 pound bags of Simcoe to make sure we could dry hop it correctly. So normally when you're buying hops, you're going to get like 11 pound, you're going to get 22 or full 44 pound bags of the pelletized hops. And we got to the point where we were so low on Simcoe that we got anything we could, 1 pound bags, and ripped them open and put them into the fermenter. So we're beyond that now, but not that far beyond that we'd like to be. So
It's worth the effort.
It is worth the effort, but it is cutthroat. I mean, a lot of people are out there gunning for the same hops too. I mean, it's not just availability issues and everything, but
Some brewers are like, fuck it, I'm just going to use these crazy hops that no one's ever heard of. And
there's a lot of that too.
Claim it's exotic.
Experimental variety.
Hop. Yeah, experimental hop 478.
Number 672. It's new.
8675309.
yeah, that's correct.
So this is the peach.
And we're on to the peach IPA.
Yeah. I was very excited for this one when I saw it was on tap.
This is one that I remember standing out to me when the first time we were here, and I remember trying that. Ooh, that's really nice. So I'm excited to have it again.
This used to be a double IPA only, so it was Peach 2X, and a lot of people get confused. They think Peach 2X is our standard IPA. We have a Peach IPA. Peach 2X is basically our double IPA with peach added.
I think we had the peach 2X.
I think we did.
Is that
You
what we
did,
had?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's more malty, it's more hoppy.
Okay.
The Peach 2X, this is our straight up peach IPA.
Okay.
Basically, in talking with distributor and other people, we wanted to make sure it was something that's not going to be something like high in alcohol, like something that's very summery, refreshing. So it's our same amount of peach, but in our standard IPA recipe.
And normally with beers that have fruit in them, you get just even right off the bat with the aroma, it doesn't smell right.
This smells like a peach Jolly Rancher.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah,
does,
and
yeah.
I love peaches. One of my favorite fruits.
You love peaches?
I do love
Millions
peaches.
of peaches?
Peaches
they
for
come in
me.
a
Peaches
can?
for me.
Were
That
they
were
put there by a man?
Put here by a man.
Speaking of which,
in a
I'm
factory
upset.
downtown.
I am so upset you beat me to it because I was working on the right one, but it worked. It worked.
speaking of which, the peaches you use in this are they canned? Is it extracts?
Georgia.
Are they local or?
All natural peaches. We actually add a couple of additional herbs to it in order, we've tried it with straight up peaches, and the peaches get very muted after a short period of
I
time.
imagine you would need a lot of actual fresh peaches to really get the flavor.
Yes, correct, correct, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't do a ton of it. And a lot of people are like, oh, just ramp it up. It's not easy to do. So even in terms of price point, we'd love to say that it's going to be something that's going to be along the same lines as some of our base beers, but it's a lot more labor involved in making the beer.
Yeah.
So from our standpoint, we have to factor that into it. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, just make more of it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. But again, there's no big green button on the wall.
Yeah.
We still toy about putting a big green button literally high enough where nobody can actually get to it.
There it is.
And say, this is how we brew beer. You just push that big green button.
and beer happens.
Yeah, then we go home and there's beer.
That's it. And you have to rate easy on that button. Just
Yeah.
hit
Yes.
the easy button. Yes.
Dan, if I could come here every day, I'd drink peaches every day.
Oh, jeez.
It can't not happen.
Well, then you're going to get a lot of vitamin C. You're going to be...
Touche.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good.
Well played.
You won't get
Well
rickets or something? I don't know.
Somebody somewhere says that's good.
Somebody somewhere says that's good.
And part of the reason that we're only doing a pilot, one 300 case batch of it, and doing it in cans that way, is again, want to see how it holds up over time. We are fortunate. We love the fact that we have fans that are passionate enough that come in that we sell it so fast, we don't know how long it's going to last.
Right.
So we don't know what the shelf life is. So so that's the one big thing. So we're gonna force ourselves to put it in cans. We're gonna put it into places that are
Come
warm.
on. Peaches come in a can. They were put there by a man. His name was John in a brewery downtown. It fits.
I gotta say that
I can't not keep thinking about this. Yes, thank you.
Oh, boy.
seriously
I'm so distracted because I'm singing the song in my head. I can't even
We
listen.
haven't used that many peaches yet, just so you know.
Many peaches.
There was enough
the
peaches.
peach profile though It works out so well.
Moving to Mount Holly, gonna drink a lot of peaches.
I set myself up for this one. No, the peach flavoring though works out so well with the hop bitterness of the IPA base.
Yes.
Like
It is an interesting compliment.
neither
yeah.
one overpowers the other, and it's just this like super harmonious blend. And
That
I
is
love
the
it.
best way you've ever described a beer in 67 episodes of the show.
Took me long enough.
You are
Wow.
spot on with that description.
Wow. Congratulations.
I'm
now
not-
you
I'm
get
not-
a gold.
I'm not
Now you get a
talking.
gold star.
I'm
Drop-
not talking the rest of the episode.
drop
It's all
the
you
mic.
guys.
Drop the mic. But with the canning, are you guys gonna just can it and cross your fingers? Or are you guys gonna can it and like sit on it yourselves for a while and kind of see how it goes, or
Can it and cross our fingers
and just
We-
let it fly?
Yeah, we think most of it. I mean, it's going to go out. People are going to drink it. I don't expect a lot of people. Like me personally, when I buy a case of beer, I don't like put it outside and let it age for a while and just wait to see how it's going to hold up.
Especially if it's an IPA.
Correct. So, but from our standpoint, yeah, like there's going to be of the 300 cases, we'll keep like 2 or 3 back here, see how it holds up in the cold box, see how it holds up actually warm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and if it tastes good, then we will actually invest in getting more cans.
Right.
Again, minimum order, 12 pallets, 110,000
so
cans.
110,000 cans is a lot of cans.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
That is a lot of cans.
That's a lot of peaches.
Yes, we love our cans, but
So there's some Palo Santo at the end of the table, and I'm wondering.
Are we going to do that
Thank God.
before the Skull
I-
and Crossbones beer?
Please.
Because I'm not doing much of that.
I'd rather drink this while I'm still alive.
But I would actually like to taste this now that it's warmed up.
it's been warming under the microphone.
Yes.
These microphones put off a fair amount of heat.
They do when I talk into them.
Hey.
I get a lot more of the coconut in the aroma than I did the first time.
It's definitely a little sweeter. You do get a little bit more of the coconut. It's still delicious. This is such an awesome beer. And Mark was telling us the contact time with the Palo Santo is like really short. Like it's very potent and it does not take. You said like you tasted it after like 2 days and it was just insane.
Yes,
Well,
Thank you.
Doesn't want to give away the secrets.
you are correct.
You are correct, sir.
Can you reuse it?
Yes,
Oh.
you are correct.
Can you say how many times?
I was going to ask that question, too.
Well, that's pretty personal.
I thought you said 12 at first.
12
said
is
well.
pretty personal.
In the pilot batches, we actually were able to reuse it like 3 or 4 times. But that's, again, small amount. But once you do bigger batches, 10, 20 barrel, we didn't want to take a chance of reusing it and then having something that's infected, whatever. So we went with basically new wood each time. So
What do you do with the wood when it's not new anymore?
we take it out and then we spray it down and then we sterilize it, and we basically, people that want to like actually use it as incense, they can take it away with them.
So you sell the
That's
old
cool.
wood.
No, we don't sell it. We give it away.
You give away the old
Yeah,
wood.
it's not a
snap.
lot of it, but we keep it at the bar too, because people actually people don't know what Palo Santo porter is, so we keep it at the bar, and most of it's people that just want to like smell the wood and all that stuff like that.
Gnaw on it.
No gnawing, yeah, but maybe that happens behind the scenes, but we don't pay attention.
I
or
kind of
we-
want to gnaw on it. Well, no, I'm interested. Like, does the wood itself give these flavors?
Yes.
Like, if you.
I don't know how. I honestly have not chewed or gnawed
Well,
on
we
Palo
did say
Santo.
earlier that it is like one of the hardest woods in the world. So I don't know that gnawing is really an option.
Well,
you could
can't like
break your
chew
face on it.
I'm
You
gonna,
could,
I'm gonna break my face.
you could lick it, but
I will say
it wouldn't
it
be
is.
much gnawing.
It is very dense wood,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's not like something like impenetrable, like that whole thing with like bullets, and shooting bullets. And to me, I think it's a lot of folklore.
So it is not bullet resistant.
We haven't made any.
Are you
vests.
telling me that the stories they say on the Dogfish Head tour are lies?
It may be
I'm not sure.
exaggerations.
I'm not sure because we haven't done any testing with shooting ourselves with.
Will you tell
dogfish.
me you're not like you don't want to just you see this wood and you're like, oh, I just want to. I mean, come on.
Hey, us New Jersey people are very refined folk.
You know what?
Gnaw on wood.
We choose to actually just drink the beer versus gnawing on
That's
the
a-
things
a
that
much-
But I was
better
always
idea.
taught that you should experience and taste the beer from start to finish and
that
understand
sensory training?
and know what all of the ingredients taste like.
I think holding and smelling the wood is.
So what does the glass taste like when you chew on it from
That's not part of
Pennsylvania?
the beer. That's not part of the brewing process.
Or is it?
It's tangy.
Tastes like sand.
A little bit like sand.
I was thinking that.
Tastes like pain.
Tastes like pain.
Regardless, this
like
beer
burning.
is freaking awesome.
Tastes like pain and blood.
It's awesome.
It is a very awesome beer, and the Palo Santo
And
wood does.
before
some
we wrap
amazing
up this
things.
train wreck, I believe there's one more beer we need to taste.
Oh shit.
All right.
Correct. That's what we named it. Just for Dan.
Ah, shit. All right, let's get some ass shit.
Let's get some more shit.
So I'm hoping. I mean, I kind of am, but kind of not hoping that this is the last beer because. I mean, I don't want to go out on this note, but then again, it's going to ruin my palate for anything else.
It smells
we still have
chocolatey
the
and
magic
coconutty.
fruity
It's okay.
thing.
we've all poured some oh shit as we've been told it's named.
Ah, shit.
Shit. It's what peppers were in it?
We use just jalapenos. That's it.
Just all right, cool.
Bullshit.
Let's do this.
Oh, you called it. So it's smoked serrano. Yeah, ghost pepper. Yeah. Then we're like, wait a second. There's peppers that are hotter than ghost pepper. So there's Trinidad Scorpion in there as well.
Nothing in that sounds good, by the way.
Yeah, no Carolina
It
Reapers
sounds
yet.
amazing.
Steph is just smiling ear to ear.
Carolina
No, she really
Reapers
is.
are next iteration for your next podcast. So we can
We
make
need
this.
to schedule that now.
No.
Dial it up to 11.
It's going to be way hotter.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
It smells really nice.
It does.
It smells
That's the
awesome.
thing. It doesn't smell like it'll kill you, but it
Smells
probably will.
chocolatey and coconutty.
It's cocoa
and-
nib trickery.
So I
there.
assume the base is the porter.
It's hot.
Correct. Oh, so
You tried it?
Yep.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face.
No.
It's good. It's really good. It's just really hot.
It smells like betrayal.
It smells like betrayal. I love it.
That could be the title of the episode. You want to? I haven't tried it yet.
You're gonna love it. You are absolutely gonna love it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mark.
See,
This doesn't bode well. I'm worried.
it's really good. Like, it's
Oh
really hot,
damn!
but it's
Both
really
of your
good.
faces got
It's
bright
got a
red.
nice smoky character.
It's got a nice smoky character. It's got a nice 5-alarm thing going on.
Wow, you get the heat right away.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like boom. Here I am. Coughing over there.
It's awesome.
it's got a whiskey burn.
It's a little hot.
Awesome. You know, if I can feel the burn, it's hot.
This is race to hiccups.
Yeah, yeah. It is like as crazy hot as it is. It's really good.
It's
Wait a minute.
amazing.
Really
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's. Give me a second.
I don't know what's going on over here.
You know what? Apparently we short-circuited Dan.
Yeah,
know.
I think we broke him.
Mission accomplished.
It's not a high bar from
Here's-
PA. I mean,
It's hot.
It's good.
It's not as hot as I thought. Maybe I overhyped it to myself, but you still have the chocolate with the
Yeah.
heat,
Oh yeah,
and it's
Yeah.
confusing.
it's like spicy sipping chocolate.
You know what it reminds me of? When we were at Boobies and I had those like chocolate syrup hot wings.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of those.
But what I love about this is you get the heat right away, and it stays.
Oh, it
with
doesn't
you.
F around. It's like here.
It doesn't.
boom.
Yeah, it's like this has fucking peppers in it. Prepare.
Deal with
Here
it,
is.
bitch.
And I still feel it, and I am so happy.
it's very easy to do beer that's just pure heat. Balance. We love balance here as much as we can. Some things are over the top, but for the most part, balance is very important to us. So it's hot. We can do hotter.
Yeah.
You know we
Don't
can.
say that to Steph.
I'm sure you can. It is very well balanced though.
So, but a little bit of balance, and just the cocoa nibs actually do pull it back a little bit. So you finish, you still get that whiskey burn like right down your chest.
But you taste the pepper. You
Yeah.
can taste the peppers.
It's like if you put a ghost chili inside a bottle of Hershey syrup. Like that's almost not that I've ever done that, but
You
that's
should-
like
we should.
no,
We should.
no,
Yes,
no.
we
You
should.
can. You can.
Don't give her ideas.
It's I must have overhyped it because I expected spicier. I sound like Steph right now. I expected
It's
hotter.
good though. It's nice.
Well,
and
you
hot.
guys know I'm really sensitive
The-
to heat, and it's really hot, but it's so good I'm still drinking it.
The heat doesn't overdo it. Like you feel it. It's there, but it's not.
And it stays, but you still taste the beer.
Yes.
Oh, we're so gonna get you next time.
Oh God damn it.
I am going to take a break
Oh,
at the moment.
that's a new.
That's the new one.
This is the shit.
Good thing
Mark?
there's a fire hydrant behind you, Dan.
Oh god damn it!
A fire hydrant of
Fire
milk.
extinguisher. Yep.
So we've named the beers apparently.
Oh shit! No,
boy.
God damn it.
Oh
That's
shit!
Gonna be the new version, obviously.
So should we do favorites? This one.
No shit. Really?
Are we going to do favorites? I don't think we've done favorites our last few episodes.
I don't think we have either.
No.
But we had like 19 beers here
But
today. So
putting this one aside, for light beers, it's the Citra Pale Ale. For dark beers, it's Palo Santo. But overall, it's this fucking Scorpion.
it's oh shit.
Yeah, it's all shit.
Oh shit.
I'm going to have to agree with the Palo Santo. That I actually really like the coffee porter as well. All three of them, the base porter, the coffee, and the Palo Santo. The porters are just
Says the Saison/IPA guy.
yes,
It's true.
absolutely phenomenal.
And I know, Mark, we don't have to ask you because it's going to be Palo Santo.
No, it's got to be
Yeah,
oh
it's-
shit.
it's the
Mark's
Palo
Mark's a fan
Santo.
of oh shit.
I like the sour.
He's gonna
beer.
get a growler filled with this. Actually, he's gonna
Oh,
bring his
wait.
own crowler machine to get it filled with this.
Yes.
Mini crawler.
Mini crowler.
6-pack of mini crowlers.
Next time we'll have Berliner Weiss on.
Oh.
I am looking forward to that.
Yes, we had that. We thought we would have that, but it didn't last.
People drank it. Means it was good.
Yes,
It's true.
Berliner Weiss is a very strange style, though. You still have to explain it to everybody. Yeah. Like,
Well, it was a lost style
You know,
for a very long time.
you would not have to explain it if you were in Pennsylvania.
that's right, because they just drink whatever's put in front of them, like cattle.
Wow.
Touche.
So, John, what is your favorite beer that you
Sophie's
brew here?
choice.
Oh my gracious!
Can be one we drank
You know,
tonight.
people
one-
from Pennsylvania can make that choice.
I would say that right now, it's probably leaning toward Citra.
Yeah,
Cit-
it's a
Citra
great
Pale.
beer.
It's so like this time of year. I mean, it's really way too easy drinking kind of thing, and trying to avoid doing like 8.5%, whatever it might be. So yeah, I would probably go there right now. Ask me in 3 months, something different. Actually, no. I would say that the barley one.
Oh yeah, pull out something we didn't try.
The barley one.
Correct. The
Means
barley
we have
one
to come back.
in Buffalo Trace
Darn.
is insanely good. So
All right.
really
So
happy.
the green label.
But no, that was more a gimmick. But anyway, yeah, it's delicious.
I like that he
Oh.
admitted that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
yeah. No, it seriously, it is delicious. But I would go with Citra right now. And it sucks again that we're down to that one last keg.
You should pull it off just so you can keep it.
No, we can't do that.
Be selfish. Come on.
No, we can't.
Make
do that.
money or drink good beer. Make money or drink good beer.
There's always a balance between the two, but
Dan?
My tongue hurts. I'm gonna go Palo. It's got to be.
It's amazing.
I don't want to think for us. I don't want to suggest for a second that any of these were bad. I mean, they were each phenomenal in their own, but the layers in the Palo Santo, oh my God, the layers.
Yeah.
Although to be fair,
oh my God, the layers.
Oh my God, the layers.
to be fair,
Oh my God.
the aw
layers.
shit really isn't
What
that
is
bad.
Oh my
Something
God,
with
Wayne.
the fire
Look at
out.
his layers.
Sorry.
That's not going to help. That's going to make it worse.
Whatever. My eyes are melting.
That could be the title, too. My eyes are melting.
It helped. I
There
don't
have been
care. It helped.
so many suggestions for everything tonight. But
So-
if people are looking to find you on
Yes.
the interwebs, there
Good
is
transition.
yes, there's spellboundbrewing.com. But is there social media? Do you soch?
Yes, we do.
You soch?
So it is basically Twitter at Spellbound Brew. We are obviously on Untapped as well, Spellbound Brew. Heard of that?
No, sorry, it hurt.
Oh,
I took another sip of the thing.
wrong thing. You didn't expect it.
I see what you mean about the layers. Holy,
Facebook.com/spellboundbrew. Kind of a theme there. But
Instagram breaks the trend.
yes, at Spellbound Brewing. Or Spellbound Brewing, sorry.
Yes.
And we are looking at doing Snapchat as well, but we're not sure we're going to go there because generally is a younger audience. So for now, it is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, website, and email.
Google.
And you are open Thursday and Friday, 5 to 10 p.m. Saturday
was-
noon to 8.
Yep.
And Sunday when you're canning.
Yes, we're actually exploring staying open on Sundays. We've done it a couple times while we were canning, but we're looking at doing it like full time. Now that we're starting to hire more people, bringing more people on board, we are looking at opening on Sunday. We just haven't completely figured it out. So.
And your anniversary celebration is coming up in September.
It was
Correct.
the 19th, right?
And
We're pretty sure it's the 19th.
Potentially.
but
Potentially. Sorry.
use the interweb social thing, and that's actually how you can find us. It's actually amazing how many people call us while we're open. What time are you open?
now. Come now.
Yeah.
Definitely not right now.
Have you been to 1990? But
Yeah. Have you heard of the internet?
Yes.
It's all in there.
And the Peach IPA, as you're listening, probably is out right now. Any other events coming up in the future?
Boy, no, nothing officially.
Check the Soch.
Yeah, we'll have our pumpkin ale release somewhere in September.
Appropriately in the fall.
Yes.
Good timing.
Correct. But we're playing with that recipe. We're not 100% sure. We have some pumpkin ale available right now, but we don't know it's going to be the pumpkin ale that we want to bring out right now. So,
Nice.
Huh. All right.
John, this was fun.
This was a lot of fun.
This was the best way to break our New Jersey cherry.
well,
Well,
so now we go into that next show.
on that bombshell. And thank you to Slimy Sauce,
Thank you.
Big
Rock
Tuna.
and Gravy, Big Tuna, Mark Graves, at Flying Fish, another New Jersey brewery
Yes.
where we have
Follow
to.
him on Twitter
Now that we're
at Rock and Gravy.
Now that we're Jersey sluts, we're gonna go there.
Yes,
Wow.
we'll make that work.
Like dove straight in on that.
No problem. Good to see you guys.
Good to
Pulling
see.
no
Thank you
punches.
for stepping up to the extra mic that Scott never took.
And thank you for allowing us to use your voice on our soundboard for the last however many months.
Where are my royalties, by the way?
Amazing. Well, that's a
You are the
funny
most
story.
recognizable sound clip on our soundboard ever.
Other than,
Cake. Oh. Yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. Or,
Fruity Pebbles.
well, that very sadly brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. Thank you for having us out here, John. This was phenomenal.
You guys are the best. Again, looking forward to the next time you guys are around. We will make something hotter that Steph can't handle.
Please don't. That's all I have to say is please don't.
You don't have to drink it.
Yes,
You
I
know,
do.
you know I'm going to though, right? That's the thing.
Like, I think short of prying her mouth open and blowing a blowtorch right in her face, nothing's gonna.
Cut the piano. We need a violin right now.
This is pretty much true. I gotta play it again because I got 8 seconds and that's just not enough time. But yeah, that shit was shit. All right, here we go, and yeah, we were in Jersey tonight.
This was the best way to record in Jersey.
Yes, this is very true. This is very true. Thank you again, John. This is great.
And if you haven't been to Spellbound, you need to come.
Yes, make the trip, pay the $5 toll. Mark, thank you as well for jumping on the mic, and
Yes.
I look forward to recording at Flying Fish at some point in the near future, whether you guys like it or not. Well, I am, what's my name? I'm Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and our from entertainer.
Wayne Baker.
I think a few squids might have been harmed in the making of that beer, but
Nope.
we'll see you next time.
Ow.